dear Nightshades, this is now James Knights, a person you might not know. He's come over from the UK. And so James, please explain who you are to the viewers.
My name is James Knights and I'm a singer, songwriter in many different projects including Knights, BOYTRONIC, SCARLET SOHO, DEMOKRATIE and a few others. Yeah.
So when did you start your career more or less at all?
I think probably I started to play music when I was about 15 or 16, but seriously playing music probably 19 or 20. It started off I lived in a really small town, so we would try and find other kids that we could convince them to be a musician. Most of them didn't want to be a musician, so you would have to beg them and say, or you would buy them a synthesizer and say, this is now yours, so you have to be in a band with me. And over time you just, with some it worked and with others it didn't work. But yeah, that was the beginnings of how I started to get involved in music, I think. And we had a club where I lived called the Railway, and it was very small. And as kids, they would let us use the stage and rehearse there, so we could try things and make mistakes. It's very important to make mistakes when you're young. So, yeah.
That's really cool. So your solo career as Knights, which is your present project or one of your present projects, started in 2017. Is that correct? With an EP?
Yeah. I reached a point where one project ended, the Scarlet Soho project ended, and for a little while I thought maybe I won't do music. I was going to maybe take some time out or do something else. And then everything happened at once. That was the year that really I was asked if I would sing in BOYTRONIC, and then that encouraged me a bit more. I thought, well, I still want to write songs and I still want to write music, so then I started Knights. So having two projects it works really, because what I realised from being in the same band for a long time was that my focus on one project, it doesn't allow you to try other styles, and for me it's making music, the most important thing is to try other things and do things that aren't always that comfortable, and try and work with other musicians as well that I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you had the EP Alligator, and then you had an album called Dollars and Cents. Mm-hmm. So it was also released before COVID times. Yeah. And how did it develop, the album? Where did customers or did people buy it? How was the interest, and how did it meet your expectations?
Yeah, I was very surprised because the first thing with the Dollars and Cents album was that we crowdfunded for that album. So we asked the fans to buy the album in advance to give us the money to make the recording, and then the company Pledge Music, they went down and took all of the people's money. And then we had this huge problem of how do we make the record, but we did it, we played some live shows, we got more money, and then we delivered the album. But I was glad, I was glad with the response that we had from blogs and media. We sold, all the CDs have sold out, and people always seem to ask for the songs live, so I think in the end, I can't believe it that because of the pandemic it's nearly 5 years of this album. Yeah. To me it feels like it's 2 years old or something, but yeah, we're coming up for 5 years and it still seems quite popular now.
Yeah, this album has been issued on vinyl also?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
Okay.
yet, but
it's gonna be?
it will be, yeah. Next year we'll do a
Yeah.
vinyl, I think we'll do a nice blue vinyl edition.
Yeah.
For the 5 years, and maybe put some bonus tracks and things like that.
Yeah, people really like it, don't they?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a very important leg for a musician to issue on vinyl, as I have experienced.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, and I think it's a really good way to feel that the release is complete, and then you feel that you can move on to the next thing. And for me, I had so many other projects and so many live concerts and stuff that it doesn't really feel that I moved on from that album. I've just been playing it for 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
So to make a vinyl and say, right, that's finished, we can put that there.
Yeah, okay.
That would be good. Yeah.
Okay. So you're also working together with BOYTRONIC, with Holger, and so how did that develop the last years? There has been 2 albums now issued in the last time. So how was working with him? How did this all fit together with your life? Or
Yeah. We just it's good because I think we have a healthy. It's like a friendly way that we approach things, because I was a fan of BOYTRONIC anyway, and I wanted Holger to feel the importance of that sound, and I wasn't really, sometimes I don't really know if he knows how much people like this band. I might be wrong, but that's how it feels, that he's not aware how loved these records are. So I think for us to have an opportunity to do something together, and I did a lot of the programming, so mostly I was just hands-on with programming, and then I would say most of the lyrics and the content is coming from him. So very different to Knights and very different to other projects, but Holger drives the emotional part of BOYTRONIC for sure. Yeah.
Okay. You are both singing?
Yeah.
Also live?
Yeah.
I've seen you both sing live. One goes forward, one goes backwards.
Yeah.
So how do people react to this? Or there is a fan base for BOYTRONIC, I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
A hardcore fan base. What was the feedback?
So always with BOYTRONIC, it surprises me how good. Because I sang in the band without him, and then I sang with him, and I think the way and in my early shows I was quite scared, you know. I thought he's a big figure to replace. When it was just me singing, it was a big deal, and I thought maybe people don't like what I do, and it makes it difficult. But I think the one thing about this audience is, as long as the person who gets on stage is genuinely enjoying the songs and giving absolutely everything, then the audience is fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they can see it in the eyes, you know. They if someone got on stage and didn't really care, then they would know, and then they wouldn't like it. But as long as the people on stage mean it, the audience is happy, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It was the same for me.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, totally convinced me.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with BOYTRONIC, so it was my youth, and our dance floor smashers.
Yeah.
We were in the clubs. So back to your own project. What I've seen recently, you are going to tour in Mexico in May, which is a big surprise actually. It's not really around the corner, and you're doing it with another band.
Yeah. So that came as a bit of a surprise, but I was not lots of people, but I get a lot of messages from Mexican fans saying, and people post DJs will post the vinyls playing. So when they're DJing and they'll tag me and say, oh look, you're being played, and so I knew something was happening in Mexico. So I thought, why not? It's my birthday when I'm there as well,
really?
so
That's
I thought it's a nice way for me to go and just see what it feels like. I have no idea what the audience will be like.
Should be awesome.
Yeah.
Because South American people are very much into synth music.
I am really. It's something I'm really excited to try, and then I don't know. Maybe we go back, maybe not, but it would be good.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So that's the near future. What about the future? Summer, autumn.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any further plans? Concerts? You alone? You with BOYTRONIC records?
I would say it's strange. We've had like this year is the 40th year of the working model, the BOYTRONIC album. So we've got some special festival slots and things like that. But there's actually so many live shows for BOYTRONIC and for Knights that I'm nowhere near a new album. This is the truth. But and I think live, especially after the pandemic, it's like live has taken over again.
Yep.
And the artists want to play live and the fans want to see. So please forgive us if we don't make any new album or whatever. But I mean, there are demos and there's things happening, but they're not happening as quickly because every time you start a project, you close it down to go and do a live show again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So and everyone's happy on stage, so it's I think that's where we are right now. But maybe next year there'll be some more music. Yeah.
So we will see you live again, hopefully in Germany.
I hope so. Yeah.
But tonight will be the night here at Tsunami Club in Cologne. So thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.
We are already near the end.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for watching, dear Nightshades. Until next time.